Yes, I'll admit that I'm a fool for you.
One man stood on a stage and sang about a love that was already dead. The song was supposed to be just another country ballad, but by the end, it felt like a funeral. And the man singing it sounded like he had spent his whole life waiting to break down in front of the world. Welcome to Nashville Rewind, where we go back to the songs, the voices, and the painful stories that built country music into something America could never forget. Because country music did not begin with perfect voices or perfect lives. It began with rejection, poverty, broken homes, bad contracts, barroom loneliness, family shame, railroad dust, and artists who turned their private wounds into songs that millions of strangers somehow recognized. These are 10 songs that helped start the country music story most people know today. Number 10, Wabash Cannonball by Roy Acuff. Before Roy Acuff became one of the most powerful names in country music, he was not treated like royalty. He was a man trying to survive on small stages, traveling shows, radio spots, and the kind of audiences that could love you one night and forget your name the next morning. Then came Wabash Cannonball. It was a train song, but it was never just about a train. In country music, trains carry everything. They carry lovers away. They carry workers toward hard lives. They carry boys to war. They carry dreams out of towns where nothing ever changes. When Acuff sang it, the train felt almost holy. He did not make it sound polished. He made it sound lived in, like something coming from a man who understood why poor people stared at railroad tracks and imagined another life. The song helped turn Acuff into a grand old Opry giant, and the Opry mattered. It was not just a stage, it was a gate. If you passed through it, your voice could travel far beyond your county, your state, your little circle of believers. Roy Acuff helped make country music feel national without losing its front porch soul. But the next song took country out of the train smoke and dropped it right into the neon light of the honky-tonk. And once that door opened, country music would never sound innocent again. Number 9, Walking the Floor Over You by Ernest Tubb.
I'm walking the floor over you.
Ernest Tubb wanted to sound like Jimmy Rogers. That was the dream. He loved Rogers so much that he tried to carry that yodel into his own career. But then life did what life does in country music.
I can't sleep a wink, that is true.
It took something from him. After a tonsil operation, Tubb could not yodel the way his hero could. For some singers, that would have been the end. For Ernest Tubb, it became the beginning. Walking the Floor Over You is not a smooth song. That is what makes it powerful.
I'm hoping and I'm praying as my heart breaks right.
Tubb sounds plain, direct, almost tired, like a man too hurt to decorate his heartbreak. And then there was the electric guitar. That sound helped push country music toward honky-tonk, away from just the porch, away from just the mountain cabin, into bars, jukeboxes, dance halls, and lonely rooms where working people went after long shifts and bad news. The song is simple. A man has been left behind. Now he is pacing the floor, because sleep will not come. That image became country music's permanent language. Not dramatic heartbreak, ordinary heartbreak, the kind that keeps you awake at 2 in the morning. Tubb did not become great by copying the man he admired. He became great because failure forced him to find his own voice. And country music has always trusted a cracked truth more than a perfect imitation. But while Tubb gave country the sound of the barroom, another man gave it the sound of bluegrass lightning. Number 8, Blue Moon of Kentucky by Bill Monroe. Bill Monroe did not just play music. He built a world. Blue Moon of Kentucky sounds gentle at first, but underneath it is a revolution. Monroe took mountain music, gospel harmony, fiddle tunes, blues feeling, and mandolin fire, then tightened everything until it moved like a machine with a human heart.
Keep on shining.
That became bluegrass. But behind the beauty was pressure. Monroe was not just making songs. He was fighting to be recognized as something more than old-time entertainment. He wanted precision, speed, discipline. He wanted the music to stand tall. And that kind of ambition can be lonely.
The one that's gone and left me blue.
Because when you create a sound, people often copy it before they fully respect it. Blue Moon of Kentucky became one of Monroe's signature songs, but its story grew even bigger when a young Elvis Presley later recorded it in a different style.
The stars shining bright.
That moment showed how deep Monroe's influence had reached. Country, bluegrass, and early rock and roll were not separate planets. They were arguing cousins, borrowing from each other across radio waves and studio floors.
And they whispered from on high.
The song helped prove that country music could be old and new at the same time. It could come from the hills and still shake the future. And once bluegrass had its king, country was ready for a man who sang heartbreak like he was already disappearing.
Said goodbye, blue moon.
Number 7. Lovesick Blues by Hank Williams.
Lord, I left you here when she called me.
Hank Williams did not write Lovesick Blues. That is the strange part. The song had a life before him. Other people had sung it. It was not born from his own pen. But when Hank touched it, the song stopped belonging to anyone else.
Such a beautiful dream.
That is what happens when the right wound finds the right voice. Hank was young, but he never sounded young. He sounded like sorrow had aged him from the inside. His life was already troubled. Pain followed him. Marriage trouble followed him. Fame was coming, but peace was not.
I hate to think it's all over.
Then he sang Lovesick Blues at the Grand Ole Opry. The crowd would not let him go. They called him back again and again, as if they knew they were watching more than a performance. They were watching the arrival of a man who could make country music feel like confession.
Lost my heart, it seems. I've grown so
The yodel in that song was playful on the surface, but underneath it was desperation. A man trying to laugh while his heart is collapsing. That is why Hank changed everything.
used to you somehow.
He made sadness feel public. He gave lonely people permission to hear themselves in a stranger's voice. He turned country music into a place where pain did not have to hide.
Nobody sugar daddy now, and I'm
But the tragedy is that Hank's brightest moments always feel haunted now, because we know how short his life would be. And once you know that, every note sounds like a man singing against time. The next artist would take that same country pain and dress it in black.
I got the lovesick blues.
Number 6. I Walk the Line by Johnny Cash.
I keep you on my mind both day and night.
Johnny Cash did not sound like other singers. He did not need to shout. He did not need to decorate his voice. He could sing one low line and make it feel like a warning. I Walk the Line was built on discipline, temptation, and fear.
And happiness I've known proves that it's right.
Cash wrote it as a promise of faithfulness, but the song feels darker than a simple love vow. It sounds like a man standing at the edge of himself, trying not to fall. That is why it became so powerful.
Because you're mine, I walk the line.
Country music had always carried sin and salvation side by side. Church on Sunday, trouble on Saturday night, a mother's prayer in one verse, a jail cell in the next. Johnny Cash understood that tension better than almost anyone. He became the voice of men who had done wrong, men who were trying to do right, and men who were not sure which side of themselves would win. But there was industry politics too. Cash came through Sun Records, where country, blues, gospel, and rockabilly were crashing into each other in the same small rooms. Nobody knew yet how big that sound would become. They were just cutting records that felt dangerous, cheap, urgent, and alive.
You've got a way to keep me on your side.
I Walk the Line helped make Cash a star because it felt both simple and mysterious. A love song that sounded like a confession, a promise that sounded like a threat. And after Cash, country music had a new kind of hero. Not clean, not safe, not easy, just unforgettable.
You give me cause for love that I can't hide.
Before we continue, subscribe to Nashville Rewind if you believe these old songs deserve more than a quick mention. This channel is for the voices that built country music, the stories behind the records, and the legends who paid for their songs with real pain.
For you, I know I'd even try to turn the tide.
Number 5, Crazy by Patsy Cline.
And then someday,
Patsy Cline did not just sing Crazy, she survived it. By the time she recorded the song, she had already fought hard for respect in a business that did not make it easy for women to lead.
you'd leave me for somebody new.
Country music loved female heartbreak, but it did not always love female power. Patsy had both. She could sound wounded without sounding weak. That was her gift. Crazy was written by Willie Nelson, a young songwriter still trying to find his place.
Why do I let myself
At first, the song was not an obvious fit. Its phrasing was unusual. It moved differently. It did not behave like a simple country tune. But Patsy understood something deeper. The song was not about losing your mind. It was about loving someone so much that you become embarrassed by your own devotion. She sang it like a woman standing in the ruins of her pride. No screaming, no begging, just control. And somehow that control made the pain worse. Crazy helped push country music toward the Nashville sound, where strings, smooth production, and pop elegance could still carry country heartbreak. Some traditionalists resisted that polish, but Patsy proved polish did not have to remove pain. It could make the pain shine.
in the world did I do?
The cruel part is that Patsy's life ended far too early, so every performance feels like borrowed time. And when she sings Crazy, it does not feel like a song from the past. It feels like heartbreak refusing to die. But the next woman did not just sing about pain. She sang her whole childhood into country history.
Crazy for thinking.
Number 4, Coal Miner's Daughter by Loretta Lynn.
On a hill in Butcher Holler.
Loretta Lynn came from Butcher Hollow, Kentucky. Not as a marketing story, not as a costume, as real life. Poverty was not an image for her. It was childhood. It was coal dust. It was a crowded house. It was a mother working hard and a father breaking himself underground so his children could eat.
We were poor, but we had love. That's the
When Loretta sang Coal Miner's Daughter, she was not trying to sound glamorous. She was testifying. That song mattered because it gave country music one of its strongest female autobiographies.
thing that Daddy made sure of. He shoveled coal.
It did not ask permission to be important. It took ordinary family memory and made it sacred. There is pride in the song, but there is also ache, because poverty can be remembered with love and still remain painful.
To make a poor man's dollar.
Loretta's rise was not easy. She entered a male-dominated world with a voice too honest to be controlled. Later, she would sing about marriage, birth control, double standards, and women's anger in ways that made people uncomfortable.
My daddy worked all night in the valley.
But Coal Miner's Daughter gave her the foundation. It told the audience exactly where she came from. And once she did that, nobody could rewrite her. That is the power of the song. It turns a poor girl's childhood into country music mythology without making it fake.
All day long in a field of hoeing corn.
Loretta proved that the truth of a woman's life could carry a whole genre forward. But another woman was about to take jealousy, fear, and vulnerability and turn it into one of the most recognizable songs ever recorded.
Babies at night had read the
Number 3, Jolene by Dolly Parton. Jolene is not loud. That is what makes it terrifying. Dolly Parton does not threaten Jolene. She does not attack her. She does not pretend to be stronger than she feels. She begs. And that choice changed everything. In country music, heartbreak often comes after the loss. But Jolene happens before the loss. It is the panic before betrayal, the nightmare before the door closes, the moment when a woman sees danger coming and knows beauty alone may not save her. Dolly wrote the song with a kind of emotional genius that sounds simple until you try to escape it. The name repeats like a prayer. Jolene, 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 Jolene. By the end, the listener knows the other woman's name better than the man's. That is the twist. The man almost disappears. The real drama is between the woman who has something to lose and the woman who could take it without even trying. Dolly Parton built her career inside contradictions. She was funny, but serious. Glamorous, but underestimated. Soft-spoken, but impossible to control. People looked at the hair, the clothes, the smile, and sometimes missed the songwriter underneath. But Jolene made it impossible to deny her. It is one of country music's greatest songs because it understands fear without making fear look small. And after Dolly, country music had a new kind of emotional power. Beautiful on the surface, devastating underneath.
Like a breath of spring, your voice is soft like summer rain.
But the next song stripped everything down even further, until only a voice, a guitar, and a broken memory remained.
I cannot compete with you, Jolene.
Number 2, Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain by Willie Nelson. Willie Nelson did not always look like the future of country music. For years, Nashville did not fully know what to do with him. He was a brilliant songwriter, but as a performer, he did not fit neatly into the system. His voice was unusual. His phrasing leaned behind the beat. His look changed. His spirit did not want a cage. Then came Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain. The song itself was older, but Willie made it feel like an old photograph found in a drawer after someone dies. There is almost nothing extra in the recording. That was the point. Country music had become polished, arranged, controlled. Willie helped remind people that emptiness could be powerful. Silence could be part of the song. A voice did not have to be perfect if it knew exactly where the hurt lived. Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain became a major breakthrough for him and helped carry the outlaw country movement into the mainstream. But outlaw country was never just about breaking rules. It was about artists fighting for the right to sound like themselves. Willie's version feels like a man looking back at love from the far side of time. Not angry, not dramatic, just wounded in a way that no longer needs to explain itself. That is why it lasts. It sounds like memory, and memory does not shout, it waits. But even Willie's quiet heartbreak was not the final wound. The most devastating country song on this list belongs to a man who sang like he had already been buried and somehow returned to tell us what love costs. Number 1, He Stopped Loving Her Today by George Jones.
And when I act crazy now and then.
George Jones did not want to record this song. That alone tells you something. By the time He Stopped Loving Her Today came to him, Jones was already carrying the weight of a damaged life, addiction, missed shows, broken relationships, a voice that could still break your heart, even when the man behind it was breaking himself.
But he still loved her through it all.
The song was brutally simple. A man loves a woman who leaves him. He keeps loving her for years. He keeps her letters, keeps her picture, keeps the wound open long after the world expects him to move on. And then one day, he finally stops loving her.
Hoping she'd come back again.
Because he dies. That is the twist. And it is still one of the most devastating turns in country music history. George Jones sang it like he knew that kind of obsession. Not because he was acting, but because his voice carried real wreckage. You can hear pride, shame, tenderness, and ruin all at once.
Down love letters by his pen.
The song revived his career, but that victory came wrapped in sorrow. Because sometimes the song that saves an artist is also the song that exposes him.
Did in 1962.
He Stopped Loving Her Today became more than a hit. It became a monument, a reminder that country music's greatest power is not cleverness. It is emotional truth told so plainly that there is nowhere to hide.
He had underlined in red.
The man in the song does not win love back. He does not heal. He does not move on. He just loves until his body gives out. And somehow, George Jones made that feel both tragic and holy.
Every single I love.
That is why this song stands at number 1. Because country music did not become immortal by pretending people were strong. It became immortal by telling the truth about how weak love can make us.
I went to see my friend.
So when you search these songs and watch the old performances, do not just look at the clothes, the microphones, or the grainy footage. Look at the faces. Listen to the cracks in the voices. Because inside those cracks is the real history of country music. A train leaving, a woman begging, a poor girl remembering, a lonely man pacing the floor, a singer in black making a promise.
But I didn't see no tears.
A legend singing love all the way to the grave. That is where country music started. Not in perfection, in pain. And once you hear that pain clearly, these songs do not feel old anymore. They feel like they have been waiting for you.